Welcome to episode 5. I actually know what episode it is this time. And we are calling this one Traveling the Octopath Way. And if you can kind of figure out why we're talking about that, obviously Octopath Traveler is coming out tomorrow. There's a lot of news on it. I think that's some of the biggest news right now with that. But we'll get into that. I'm Dan, as you guys know, joined by Jesus. Steve will be joining us later today. Or later tonight, probably with drink in hand, as I have mine right here. So, what are you drinking tonight, Jesus? Anything, or you just
not tonight. Not tonight. I have to. Got to work tonight.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. Let's not say you're drinking if you got to work tonight. But once again, I just want to thank you. We are getting blown up with downloads and all of that, so it's wonderful. Thank you so much for the support. We have 4 episodes out, and we have over 100 downloads for things for this, and I know that people are watching on Twitch and all of that when we rerun it. So just thank you, everybody, for all the support that you guys are doing and watching and commenting and all of that. Join our Discord. Our Discord is very, very active. We're getting notifications all the time that people are messaging, so join our Discord. The link is there. The link is also down below, also on our social medias, all of that fun stuff. So you can find our Discord there. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, iHeart, TuneIn, Spreaker, and finally, Spotify. You can find us on Spotify, finally. So just, if you want to Spotify it, go right ahead. So once again, though, just thank you for everything. As we begin every show, Jesus, what are you playing? What have you been playing?
So, okay, one of the main things I did play, kind of like what I did last week, was Pokemon Go, because they did a very early community day. Usually, community day comes like in the middle of the month, but surprisingly it came out just the first week of July, and I was like, okay, I'll just prep myself for it. And they were giving out Squirtles, and they were nice enough to hint 24 hours before the event that you were able to catch a Squirtle with its sunglasses, just like the Squirtle Squad episode back in the day. So I spent 3 hours grinding away in my local, actually the local university around here, and just kind of hung out with a huge crowd of people trying to do that.
Awesome.
And then recently, just like kind of like Steam did their summer sale, I did kind of drop some money on that. I actually dropped money on the PlayStation Network because they're doing a midsummer sale as well. There's a lot of reasonably fun and cheap games. I spent close to $40 on what I would have roughly spent about $250 on.
Okay.
So there's let's see, some of the few games I did pick up were Peggle 2. That's one of those just fun, like what is that kind of game? Like a puzzle game. Just
Yep.
And let's see, what else did I pick up? What else did I pick up? Citizen. What is that Citizen game?
Star Citizen, or Citizen Star, or whatever.
No, it's like an RPG where you're like the mayor and you're like collecting the people around. Trying to remember.
I'm not sure.
No, that one I picked up because I remember I saw it and I wanted to buy it, but it's like $15 and you can get it for like $4 right now. So like, why not?
Okay.
And there's just a bunch of games on there that I just wanted to pick up because they're like reasonably cheap. Between there's this one game. This is the Police. I've been wanting to get. Paid up, I think, $2 for it. It's normally $15.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So a bunch of really good games. I recommend anyone who's out there, if you're on the PlayStation, check them out. The sale ends in 5 days, so look for any games under their midsummer sale, and yeah. But those are some of the things I'll be streaming a couple of those soon, so yeah, look forward to that.
Very nice. Let's see. I finally beat God of War.
Oh, did you?
I got to the end of God of War, and I have to say that was probably Like it kind of caught me off guard. The final boss per se, if you want to call it, or the final fight that you had to go through. There's so much to do after that game. Like I didn't realize how much there is to do after that game, where what you can actually do during the game before you actually beat it. And then there is no spoiler, but there is a kind of a second ending that you can get, which is really, really, really interesting. I mean, obviously, you can spoil it, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very interesting what you can actually find on it. So, or what actually happens. So it's pretty cool. And then now I'm trying to beat the Valkyries and all of that fun stuff. So I don't know. It's I don't know if I'm going to keep playing it. I kind of have, just because I just kind of been lazy to pick up something else.
I know that feeling all too well.
I did re-download Grand Theft Auto 5. And I think it's just because I kind of want to fuck around in it for a while. But I don't know how long I'm actually going to do that. I'm not really too sure. I mean, I just kind of, on that, I picked up, or I played a little bit more Vampire. What else did I play? I bought the PC versions of Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2 because they were $3 total. And then, so if anybody wants to play PC Left 4 Dead 1 or Left 4 Dead 2, I'm all for it. And then I picked up Kerbal Space Program, which it's fun. It's really interesting, like the puzzle solving that you have to kind of do with it, or not the puzzle solving, but the things that you can kind of put back and forth with it. So that's what I've been playing. I started playing Octopath Traveler, the demo. And then I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to reserve that. I kind of want to reserve that right now. Like, I want to experience the whole thing. I didn't want to like play like 3 hours and then it says, okay, done. And then like, I can't play it no more. It's like, I kind of want to, do that. And I think it's going to be really good for the trip that I'm going on, which I'll tell you guys about in a bit. But, so that's kind of what I've been doing. Obviously we've been off for 2 weeks because of the holiday. So all of that. Let's get into the weekly releases. Let's see. So PlayStation 4 and Switch, they have the Sonic Media Plus, which is also for Xbox. That's where I believe what was that big thing that you can do with it? Like if you own it now, it's like $5, but if you don't have it, it's like an extra, it's an extra price. And it's like you can play with a friend or something like that. Is that what it was?
I believe so. I think you're right.
It's just like an update to the game already. So it's getting some good reviews. I mean, 95, 90 from GameSpot, Stop. Destructoid gave it an 80. So you got that. Shining Residence Refrain that came out on the 10th. And that's for PC and Xbox also. I really don't know anything about this one. It's getting okay scores. It's in the 70s for it. It says, assume you're the role of Yuma, Leverain, and stop the Empire from exploiting the power of the ancient dragons. I'm not really too sure. It's very anime-esque looking. The Spectrum Retreat. Wow, hello. Music came out of nowhere. So check into the Spectrum Retreat and stay. You won't forget and manipulate your way through truth and narrative-driven puzzles. So once again, average scores on this 80, 70s. That's where you're receiving. MXG Pro, which has me thinking that this is a biking game.
More than likely.
Once again, MXG, which is that dirt biking or is that? I think that's dirt biking, isn't it?
Yeah, when I think MX, I think it's dirt bikes.
Yeah, so that's not getting a great score. That's getting a 65 right now on Metacritic.
That's not a bad score.
Yeah, it's just an average score.
Just above average, slightly.
Yeah.
I think we had the discussion before, but no.
I think one of the big, really, really downfall ones right now that hasn't gotten any good scores is Animal Force. Assemble your squad of superpowered beasts and save the world from a deadly alien invasion. It's for everyone. There's no multiplayer.
I just saw that. I just saw the trailer just this morning when I was kind of scrolling through games, and that did not really catch my attention whatsoever.
No,
I was like, okay.
Mine neither. Let's see. All that. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered came out. That's also on PC and PlayStation 4. They came out on the 3rd. I loved Red Faction, the Guerrilla game. I played the hell out of that game when it came out on the PlayStation. So I mean, that's
okay,
a
I know what
remaster.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yes.
the one you're on Mars and all of that.
Yeah, I was like, I know that. I know
And
that.
you blow shit up, which is it's just wonderful. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which if you remember, there was a Captain Toad game before on the Switch. So and that actually did pretty well. This one you can have 2 players, but I've kind of heard that the 2-player is not really what you think it is. It's not co-op. It makes the game incredibly easy. So if you're actually going to play this game by yourself. But it's a whole bunch of puzzles, level puzzles that you just go through, and you just warp to different ones in your Toad. I think the biggest thing also is that you can't jump, but people are like, yeah, that's okay. But for a game that's, the premise of it is jumping. A Mario game is the premise of it. And you can't jump in it. So that kind of threw a couple of people off, but no, I think that's what's going on with that. Let's see what else. What else do we got? Bomber Crew is coming out for the Switch and on the PlayStation and Xbox. You're a World War II strategic bombing sim. No multiplayer. It looks very cartoonish. As far as that's getting a 72. Bomb Chicken, which I'm not really too sure what Bomb Chicken is, but
Bomb Chicken. It sounds more like a KFC menu item.
Yeah. So that's coming out. That's getting kind of decent score. That's an 80. And then I think the biggest one out of all of them that's coming out, and it's actually tomorrow. It's coming out, and that's Octopath Traveler. This has been this was one of the first games that was shown when Switch was unveiled. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a huge old school saga RPG turn-based person. If I didn't, what is that? Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good game, but I don't go out of my way. It's like, oh my god, Final Fantasy Tactics? Not really. But this one actually kind of has my attention just because of how many people you can have, and each one can have stories, and how there's really no main story is what I'm hearing. Is that it's just kind of just a whole bunch of adventures that go on, but you go past and you do a story of your characters.
Somewhat like Skyrim-ish.
Not really, but yeah. I wouldn't compare it to Skyrim. So there's 8 different characters that you can start out with as your main character, and each one has an ability. So you have a thief and a dancer and a rogue and all of that, and and a knight. So each one has their own specific strength. But the way that it's basically being toted is that you can you recruit different people, and you have different job classes. So you can actually train an archer to actually use a sword, and you can train a dagger user to actually use a spear and all of that. So you have that. It's very strategic as far as the game, as far as the combat. It's a 2D platformer, but in a 3D world. So you can go up and down, not just left and right. So it looks really, really interesting. And the reason I'm saying it's going to be good, one of the things is that next week, so this is the first time we'll say it, but we'll repeat it again. Next week, we will be doing our show on Tuesday. because I am going to be leaving. I'm going to New York for a long weekend as a gift to my father. We're going to go do some stuff in New York, but we are driving, and from Chicago to New York is about 12 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's me and my two brothers and my father, and we came up that let's go and travel using the car instead of using those wonderful airplanes, because it would save money. No, it's all good. No, it's going to be a fun road trip. It's going to be a really fun road trip. We've been looking forward to it for about a year and a half now. So I figured I'll probably end up picking that up so I can have something to do while people are chatting in the car or whatever. I can actually, if I wanted to put on my headphones or something like that, I have a nice long game I can dive myself into. And yes, he does have a charging port in his car, so I can plug it in and I can charge the Switch. So the Switch will not go out.
The essentials right there.
So I'm looking forward to it. But no, this is one of those games that, like I said, it was a launch title, or it was announced at launch of the Switch. So Nintendo's putting a lot of focus in on it, and I think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to actually playing it and picking it up. So.
All right, nice.
So let's see. I think that kind of does it for. Oh wait, no Wii U titles are being released. So, can you believe that? There's no Wii U titles.
I don't think they'll be continuing any more progress with.
No, I'm only kidding with that. So those are the weekly releases. Let's see, what do we got going now? News. So I think the first bit of news that I want to talk about is, have you heard about Google developing their own home console?
No, that's kind of all news to me. I was like baffled actually. I'm not surprised, but I'm a little bit like,
So there's really not a lot of information about it.
Is it all just hush hush right now?
Yeah, like nothing's been unveiled. But there's a lot of things pointing that it's coming. So, and I'm trying to pull up and that's the thing. It's like if you Google it, it gives you a whole bunch of other things, especially on Google. But like, yeah. What do you what's your take on it? Like, what do you think they could put in it? What do you think they're trying to do? Didn't they try to do something with wasn't like the Ouya or something like that? Wasn't that a Google-based or Android-based?
So these are the two things that come up to mind a little bit. The Steam Link and the Ouya are the two things that come up to mind when I'm thinking another platform. Uh-huh. These are like the Steam Link in itself is reasonably well, like for what it is. If you want to play PC games on your television, yeah. And the ones that were integrated correctly. So the Ouya was a fun toy.
Okay.
But it's I would say an overblown mobile device for your television. But it did have its own if you actually I've seen people, and I knew a guy who modded an Ouya to do some interesting things, but this is Google we're talking about.
Community.
Sorry?
You gotta love the modding community.
Yes. Hey, anything? Oh well, that thing was running on what was it? I think he was running it on Linux after he removed the Android thing, and he just went wild with that thing. But anyways, we're talking Google here, so as far as technology goes with Google, let's see, they've gotten their phones out, and they've been reasonably good phones. Their home systems, the Google Homes, have been doing really well as well. Good too. So,
yeah, I mean they're competing with Alexa, so
I think.
But you really think that those things can compare to a gaming console?
I think they're just testing their waters right now. Because I'm trying to really think, like what's being fought over a lot right now is the quote unquote most powerful machines, the best quality in picture. it's kind of hard because then you're gonna have to be fighting over quote unquote exclusives. Then, like,
Yep.
that's where it gets me. Like, are there gonna be Google exclusives? That's gonna be a whole another can of worms that we're gonna be looking forward
Which
to.
I doubt it. Like, who's going to throw their hat in on that?
It's Google we're talking about, though.
But I mean, but think of it this way though. I have a Switch, so I have my portable device. Okay, I really don't game on this thing. I really don't game on my phone. I know that's not just throwing up for support for a certain product, but I got this. I got this that I play on sometimes. So I got my portables down. I got my computer. So I got PC gaming going right there. I have my Xbox and I have my PlayStation hooked up to my 4K TV. So it's like, where am I going to stuff this, this other console from Google in? Where does it fit?
Honestly, that's all on their marketing right now, actually. It's going to be up to their marketing team to really have us as consumers want us to buy a new console, a new home entertainment system. So if this is something that is more than just talk, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do, because they do have the funds, they do have the name. Now we just have to wait and see what they can do, because they do have some tools that would be easy to integrate. Because just like how Xbox integrated Skype with their system, Google has their Google Hangouts, so that's simple right there. Like, I can see them integrating all their stuff, like their Gmail, all this stuff, just connect it all. So they do have all the background stuff to be able to do something. So we're just gonna have to honestly just wait and see.
Okay. In my opinion, they're gonna have to really, really wow on what a Google system can do, because right now I don't need it, don't want it, don't even care to even hear about it, honestly. Especially if we have possibly next gen new consoles coming out from PlayStation, and possibly so supposedly the PlayStation 5 is being worked on. Development kits are for those, which I called last episode, that I really think that Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima are next gen games. I don't think they're going to be this gen games. Possibly even The Last of Us. Maybe that will be a crossover for them. And then Xbox, supposedly it's called Scarlet or something. That's supposedly the code name for the new one.
Yeah, that's the code name I've been seeing online.
So it's like, what do you? I don't know. I have no interest. I we talked about it, I think, way too much anyway. So, but it'd be interesting if something does pop up.
Well, I'm just a big fan of technology overall, so if it does come out, I'll have my eye on it, and I'll be looking up its specs and listening to people's reviews, and we'll see from there.
Question though.
Shoot.
Speaking of new consoles and new generation, how many do you think Microsoft or PlayStation is going to go to the way of the Switch and make something portable?
Portable for Microsoft and Sony. Sony, I think, somewhat learned its lesson from the Vita.
No, they didn't.
I don't.
No, they didn't.
Okay, so here's the thing. What's funny is the Vita outside of Japan does not do well. Like, all their Japanese titles do really good. Like they still make a ton of games still, and there's still so many games in production for the Vita that are only going to be released in Japan. There's very few that are ever going to be shown in America, and that's what disappoints me, since I enjoy my Vita and I have games for the Vita that I enjoy playing, but so many games are in Japan and will never be released outside of that. It's just sad that Sony America will not be able to port them over, because there is no market outside of Japan. Like,
correct.
In a way, I don't think we're going to be able to see Sony portable games for a very long time. Like that's my real thought. Like, I think we will see a new Vita 2, but it's gonna be
down the line.
It's gonna be down the line. It might have a resurgence with the next generation. Like, we're gonna be moving on, so there is gonna be the new generation to see. Now, okay. Microsoft's have they ever really? They've never done anything.
No, they've never done a portable. They never even hinted at a portable.
It's kind of hard to say, because I think they're honestly just trying to work on their main box and trying to keep it a step up off the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling that we're not going to be seeing anytime soon something portable from Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of my honest opinion. I think their main focus is their main console and trying to make it the best it can be to outshine the rest of the competition.
Huh.
And okay. Nintendo is just Nintendo, and they're always going to try something new.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, obviously Nintendo has something that they're sticking with the Switch. I don't see the Switch. I don't see the Switch going away anytime soon. Obviously, because it just came out. I don't hear them even hinting at a new system for at least another 5 years. I doubt they're going to have any type of pro thing. They might come out with like a different version or a limited edition, but
they might come. I have a feeling that we'll, in the next 2 years, come up with an updated hardware one. But besides that, I think the longevity of the Switch is going to be about what you said, about 5 years until they start saying next system. But True. I think we might see a new DS though. In between that. Oh yeah, those are my thoughts on portables.
Okay. Speaking of Xbox, did you hear? Supposedly, there's a big rumor going around that mods could be coming to Xbox One and Windows 10.
What kind of mods?
Just a little side note. Oh, did Steve join us?
Did I just hear a little ghost?
Hello.
It's so funny when Steve just pops in.
Hi.
So
he just kind of sneaks in.
I just sneak right in there.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here. My monitor's going to flash for a minute.
Because we haven't been able to do this yet, because I know that you have it. Congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
To new dad, how is baby doing? We can ask.
Baby is doing just fine. Baby is doing great. Mom and dad are sleep deprived, and older sister
That's
is
exactly.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. No, really.
Can we ask what's the name again?
Haley Sophia.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
We're so happy, and you guys are home or home healthy. That's what I want to say.
Yes, we're healthy and happy. No major problems. I was the only thing that's the biggest thing, and this is fatherhood talk. So if you're here for games, hold on for a minute. This child is so full of gas, and this poor thing does not know how to push it out yet. So she just cries and wails and screams, and then she falls back asleep.
I do the same thing.
Oh. I mean, we all do, right? We cry, we scream, and then
it was kind of funny. So I can say Steve and myself, we both have children. I have one child, and Steve, you have two, right?
At last count, yes.
Yeah, at last count, you have two. Jesus and Grace do not have any kids.
I've been told multiple times not to have any kids.
Okay.
Oh, don't do it. Sounds awful.
So the saying I've always heard is, like, shoot, what is it? Well, like, never mind, forget it. I'd rather not say it. Let's stay away from that topic.
Okay.
All right.
But no, when obviously when my wife she was pregnant, my mom or grandma, she says has to tell a story of how everybody was born, and she supposedly when she was pregnant with me goes in and they put her on the monitor, and this is 1983, so it's not the greatest of technology like we have today, and they hear out of nowhere they hear wrong. And then, whatever. And then, there'll be like another reading, wrong. Or doctor comes in and says, well, we know you're having a boy. And my mom goes, how do you know that? He goes, because only boys fart and burp down the birth canal.
And you haven't stopped since.
No, I haven't stopped since. So,
outstanding.
But no, yeah. So that's the story my mom tells about me. So. But no, congratulations again. We're very, very happy that everybody's healthy and 10 fingers, 10 toes, and all of that. So.
Yep, it's all good. Now it's just all about getting back into a routine, getting a full night's sleep, and carving out just a little bit of time for video games.
We'll see you in 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years. Yeah. So Microsoft, what was this about, a handheld or not a handheld? What was the thing?
So we were talking about Microsoft's possibility of
go further back from that.
Okay, go. Okay, so
further back from that was Google.
Are we talking about the Google home console?
Yes.
Okay, so
Google's home console.
So there's been a rumor that Google is developing a home console. What are your thoughts of this rumor?
My thoughts on this rumor. Cool. Why not? It'll be something completely different that, a small subset of people will jump on immediately and then it'll be forgotten. So, remember Google Plus? Yeah. That's what'll happen.
No, I do not. So, yeah, there's that.
Google Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just like the same thing.
Yeah. Google has a lot of information about all of us. They know a whole lot about our searching habits and what we like and all that stuff, but they can't quite seem to form it into anything else besides a super accurate search engine. If they're able to create some kind of console, great. Like, that's wonderful. Why not? I do Gmail. I've got Google Drive, all the really techie stuff that they do, I've jumped on board with and it's worked and it's been fine. The more social fun stuff they do, like their version of Facebook, which was what Google Plus was, that just kind of sank into nothingness. You'll still see like the little G Plus on some websites, but I haven't clicked on it in years.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. See, there it is. There it is. If they do anything. Oh
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the one thing on my YouTube where it says, "Do you want to tweet about it?" And then there's a little G plus. I'm like, sure. What is that? I'll just click it.
I'll G plus it.
I forgot that was a thing.
So yeah, if anything, they'll be able to do some kind of streaming platform, maybe. But everyone's trying to get that to work and nobody really has yet. So if they're able to crack that somehow, cool. I mean, sign me up, until it dies. But yeah, I'm always good. I'm always happy when there's new stuff in the game space, new companies, people trying new things. Yes, sure. Try it. Let's go. Right. We don't want to monopolize the game industry or the consoles or any of that stuff. So sure, try something. Let's see if we can get it working. But realistically, I don't think we're going to get anything from Google, really.
No, I don't think so either. And the question or the part that I brought up was, do we really need it?
No.
I got if I want to go mobile portable, I got this. If I want to go other portable, I got the Switch. If I want to stay at home and I want to play, on my TV, I got the Xbox and I got the PlayStation. If I want to sit at a computer, as Steve will say, like a real gamer, I have my PC.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's no space for Google to slide into. If Google Phone took off, wasn't there Pixel, like maybe if they did something centered along there, or like they don't have a space that they can slide into. Mobile's covered by iPhones and Androids and mobile phones in general. There's games there if you want those. There's DS or Switch if you want a more beefy experience. If you're not doing that, if you're not running around doing those kinds of things, you're at home. And if you're at home, you have a console or you have a computer, and there's where you get your games. So where are they going to go? Where are they going to slide into? There's not really a space that isn't already occupied. So they'd have to fight for their space. And I don't think they need to, cause they're already, they're Google. They can do what they want. So let them try. And if they can get in there, sure. If not, whatever.
Yep. Yep.
There you go. Yep. Same thoughts.
So when we talked about that, we just brought up that, there's been thought of and a rumor going around that Xbox and Microsoft or Xbox Live and Windows are going to be getting mod support.
Oh, mod support. Mod for what? What are they modding?
Games. Xbox games.
Okay.
Which I don't know how that's going to happen on a console.
It'll be.
I mean, we see what Bethesda did with theirs, but you still have to create it on a computer.
Yeah, I mean, well, mod creation, that space, that's computer space. You can't program on a console unless they do something crazy. But it'd have to be like game by game unless Microsoft says, hey, we all have to use the same game engine, which is not going to happen. No way.
They're not saying that all games. They're just saying that there will be support for if a developer wants to put mods in the game.
Oh, okay. I see.
That it will be unlocked for Xbox.
So it's like when like the Skyrim, when they allowed mods to be implemented with both Xbox and PlayStation, there was okay, I can see that working on specific games. All right,
so a developer like Bethesda says, "Hey, Microsoft, we want mods on our game," and they'll say, "Sure, no problem."
Yep.
Okay.
Basically.
Cool. I mean, that's fine.
They'll probably do it, yeah.
That would be awesome.
I don't know how much use. I mean, modding a game, it depends on the games. Some have huge, some game types have huge mod communities. Some have zero. So like, Bethesda is probably going, yay, because their games live on mods after, the first 6 to 8 months. Then the life of the game gets extended via mods. There's a lot of like RTS type games, what do they call them? Colony builders, where people put add-on packs and like, oh, you want your buildings to look silly? Here you go. And that's fine. That's great. Sure.
Do you think that Skyrim would have the amount of players that it has right now if it wasn't for mods?
No.
No.
No. I mean, the base game was great, but it wouldn't have this longevity that it does now. I mean, there's so many there's so much you can do to that game just to either enhance your experience or to mess it up as much as possible. And right. People love that, and that's great.
Well, Todd Howard came out and they basically stated that that Skyrim still has over 1 million players every month.
Yep.
And he said, and basically they said, when are you going to stop porting it to everything? And they're like, when people stop playing it. People are playing it, so we're going to put it on every system that we can. Yeah. Which is like, there's no reason that you shouldn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Give it to everyone.
So just another little bit of news before I know, Jesus, you want to put your stuff in. But what is it? Do you guys play Monster Hunter World?
I did. A little bit.
Okay. So PC version comes out August 9th. And that was announced with specs, and then the Monster Hunter World Summer Twilight Fest will begin. Actually, it's on now. It started today at 8 p.m. Eastern, so that would be 7 p.m. Eastern or Central our time. So it's already started, and it ends Thursday the 26th at an unspecific time. So, which is kind of cool. Like, you guys, there's different monsters that come back. So the Kuliv, Taroth, and the Lunastra missions are available during this. They give out different cosmetic and armor sets are not, well, armor sets are not cosmetic in the game, but they do stuff with that. The weapon is actually an insect glaive. There's a crossover between Final Fantasy XIV that's happening with them, and supposedly one of the behemoths is coming through. And supposedly if you farm the behemoth from it, you actually can create an insect glaive and I believe some armor with that too. So check that out. It's pretty cool. There's like fireworks that go off in the background, and they put different things like in your your common area, your lobby, if you want to call it, where you set up your hunts and all of that. They put different things in there and all of that. It's pretty cool. It was like their Spring Fest they came out. So now they have their Summer Fest that's going on. So that's actually going right now.
Cool. That's awesome.
So that, Jesus, you had a couple of things for news. Why don't you hit your stuff up?
Yeah, what happened to your beard? Is that one of your news items?
Oh, God.
I knew he looked different.
Right away, I was like, hey, man, where's your hair?
So, my hair's still here.
You just combed it.
This is gonna be a quick story because I was just trying to trim. So I was just trying to trim it a little bit since I was kind of starting to get the Wolverine sideburns.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, I just gotta trim it up a little bit. And as I was just kind of doing just slightly trim, I bumped my elbow on the sink and went zip.
Oh no!
So I was like, okay, I can fix this. So I started just cleaning up, just little by little. I got to a point where like, okay, I can't fix this. All right, I'll go with the goatee since I still had enough for a goatee. So like, okay, goatee, clean that up. I don't like this, so I just swiped it all off, and that's how I look like now.
Fresh start.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
That's all right.
It grows back. So.
New game plus. It'll be even better this time.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. So anyone who's listening to this, just catch us live and you can see this lovely mug.
Exactly.
But
I'll grow the beard back. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Watch his progression. But anyway, a couple things. We have a guest. Goatee is solid facial hair choice. It is not for everyone. Yep, exactly. Ham. Nah.
The henna. The henna's in the house.
So yeah, but yeah, I can't pull it off. But I might try it. It doesn't hurt, right? But anyways, news. This is one that I wish Grace was here because she's more into Warframe than I am. And I was actually just watching a streamer just doing his casual thing, and he was talking about TennoCon, not TennoCon. Forget about that garbage. TennoCon.
Okay.
It's the big Warframe presentation that the developers do every year. They've been doing it for the last 3 years, and I just sat there just watching the entire 1 hour presentation. Like originally, I would never have watched it because it's not really my game.
Mm-hmm.
But I sat, I watched the entire thing. Yeah, Warframe has been one of those games that I wish I picked up because it is one of these apparently really good free-to-play games, and I know Grace could vouch for that.
I played it quite a bit too. I really dug it. It was cool.
So
Yeah.
like I wish I can play it. I can play. It's free, right? There's nothing stopping me, but it's a grind,
It is.
But-
It's all grind.
So that's what's good about the game is like you can get everything in the game as long as you grind for it. You can pay for some stuff, but as long as you work for the stuff you're trying to, there you go. But the few things that were presented during this presentation was their new expansion coming out at the end of summer. Let's see here, Fortuna. There it is. They're adding a whole new planet. They're adding a whole bunch of new. I don't know what they're called. I don't want to be ignorant to the Warframe community, but it's like
Okay.
their skins and all that. I really dig their like whole cosmetic look. They look really amazing.
Those are the frames, right? Like the war frames, I think they're called. I think.
So yeah,
I don't know.
they look amazing. That's one thing I've always liked. Their art design is on point. Like everything they were showcasing, because they showed like 8 new designs and they looked awesome.
Cool. That's cool.
But then they showed gameplay and stuff that is going to be appearing, and I like this. I like what they did in this development. They showed what's going to be coming out. I wish more companies did this. This is what I'm glad more companies are doing, like Bungie now. They're doing small events to showcase their game and showcase things that are going to be doing. And Fortuna looks like it's going to be a fun expansion. And everyone got surprised because at the end of this whole presentation, they sneaked in future content.
Oh, cool.
After this, like, really nice, not even cinematic, it was an in-game cutscene, and then it went straight into gameplay for a good 15 minutes, just showcasing everything. And then it ended, and then, like, out of nowhere came a ship, and then they went into space.
Whoa.
And everyone was like, what? Really? What is this?
Okay.
And they showed off their future expansion, codenamed Railjack, where they're adding space combat, where you're literally in a spaceship, using it to shoot other spaceships. You can go in your frame, be in space. You can hijack other spaceships. Literally amazing. Like,
wow.
This company is doing a lot, and it's all free.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't get into Warframe. Like, I know you're explaining all of that, but it's like, I am just not up for that grind. I'm just not up for it.
No, I hear you.
It's like I went over and I don't know. It's like I went over and I was making a chest piece, or I don't know. I was making some form of armor, and it took me like 4 days to get everything that I needed. And then it's like, okay, finally, I go over and do that. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's going to be ready in 12 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I'm just like, after that, I'm just like, I don't want to wait 12 hours to play the thing that I've been grinding for 4 days.
Okay, and the Hannah, there's one thing I also forgot to mention. The Hannah also mentioned, they did announce during that, it's also for the Switch.
Okay, so you can
wonderful.
grind on the go.
It's okay.
Hey, that's another opportunity for the Switch to have more more online mobile games like Fortnite, like Warframe. These free games with possibilities for players.
Yeah. Well, supposedly their online stuff's coming out in August or September too. So that's when you have to pay for their online service.
But anyways, that's kind of like for me, it was just exciting to see what this development company did. I was excited. I might not be playing Warframe, but I was happy seeing a company showcase their game and be ecstatic about it, and be like the crowd around there was just amazing. It was just fun to watch.
Well, I thank you on behalf of the Save Point podcast for watching or listening to probably something I would have fallen asleep to. So,
oh no.
So thank you, Jesus, for going through that.
Let me talk Warframe just real quick.
Sure.
Cause the Hannah said, in the chat, and everyone should come in the chat and talk to us too, that they heard it's Destiny-esque. And that is when I checked out Warframe. It's when I was playing Destiny 2, and then I was done with it, and people were like, hey, if you've played Destiny 2 before the expansions come out and you still want more, here's a game that's been doing it for years, and it's great. And it's free, so all right, I'll check this out. And Dan, I get what you're saying about the time. Like, we don't have time for this crap anymore.
We don't.
It's a cool concept to be like, hey, here's a list of all these things to do, and you do them, and you chip away at them, and then at the end of it, you have this awesome piece of armor that's a good piece of armor, and it looks awesome and all this stuff. And it's great that they're doing that, and I like their gameplay loop of like, you're always constantly farming something. There's always something to do. You never log on and go, what do I? No, you just start farming, and you just go here, you go there, you go here. What's on my list? I need some of these, some of those, some of these. Go. And then like the combat similar, it's like you're jumping and you're flipping and you're kicking this and you shot that and you do flip, flop, and then that's Warframe. And I get it. And I get why people would be diehard fans of that. I just don't have time for it. I just don't. I played for a couple of days and I was like, I get it. and this is cool. And if I ever am get my legs taken away somehow and I'm stuck in a bed and I can't move, like this will be a go-to because it'll always be there and there will always be something to do, and it's free.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? If I do something with it, I think I might download it for PC just because now I have a PC that can actually run it. And I think that could be like a fun game. Like if I just feel like grinding and popping on to stream for a while, could be kind of fun to do. But I don't know. Like I said, you hit it right on the head, though. I just don't have time for it. You know, yeah. I'd rather play something that I know I'm going to progress in farther. You know, if I have an hour or two possibly to be able to do whatever, that's where I'm going to spend my time.
For sure.
Okay, so Jesus, for time's sake, I think it's time for our second part of our four-part series.
I got one last thing. It's very important.
It is? What's very important?
Yeah, it's actually... So, this morning, or this afternoon, depending where you are, Guardian Con just finished, at least their charity stream.
Okay.
They, for anyone who doesn't know what Guardian Con is, it was originally this group of like Destiny players who raised money for St. Jude Hospital, and for the last couple of years, it's been growing as a community, and it's evolved just from Destiny to a bunch of streamers. And just this morning, they were able to raise $1.7 million for St. Jude.
Awesome!
That's amazing.
That's so great.
So
that is like if anybody's not familiar with what St. Jude is, St. Jude is a hospital. Is it Kentucky or Tennessee that it's in? It's one of the two. I forgot exactly where it is.
I believe they have two now locations.
Okay, but St. Jude, it's a children's cancer hospital. It's in Tennessee. It's a children's cancer hospital, and the thing that sets them apart from this is that it's 100% donation based. There is no bill ever given to a child or to a child's parents that have cancer because of the passion that these people have to want to cure childhood cancers. And they do any type of cancer. If a child has cancer, you are eligible to go to St. Jude's. They go from paying meals to hospital visits to hotels that they're paying for people, to transportation, to everything for kids. And to raise $1.7 million for this, that 2. Is just, I'm sorry, 2.7. That is just absolutely amazing for that hospital. And
that's great.
You know, big ups to St. Jude's too. They do so many fundraiser things, and they're always open. And you know, for administration of a hospital to turn out and say, you know what, we're going to allow people to play video games to raise money because people would want to give to that's pretty awesome. That really is awesome.
That's great.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool.
And you know, St. Jude's, much like Warframe, is free to play. So there you go.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I put that out there. I was happy to donate myself, watch other streamers, and support them, and along the lines. And yeah, so I'll be doing the same thing next year, and we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is something. I'm sorry I almost cut you off on that. But we'll get into our last topic of the night, and that's going to be, this is our second part of our 4-part series. And guess what, Steve? Guess who's up next week?
Oh, is it?
Dun, dun.
Is it me?
If you can do it on Tuesday.
Sure. Maybe.
Okay, so
we'll see.
So you're going to be up next, but
we'll talk about it.
I gave my 5 top games. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I said I think so. We'll talk off the air, but I think so.
Awesome.
It'll happen eventually. Yeah.
Awesome. So I gave my 5 top games last or 2 weeks ago, and we asked a question. I forgot what was that question. What was that question I asked? Remember, Steve? You didn't know. You didn't remember, or you weren't here, so you wouldn't know it. I asked a question. I'll figure it out next time we stream. I did ask a question for people, and I haven't gotten any answers from it. Okay. I forgot the question, but and that's why I know that I haven't gotten any. I have any answers because I forgot the question. But So I gave my top 5 of all time and the reasons why. So
Okay.
the stage is yours, Jesus. Go ahead. What are your top 5 games? Start with number 5, explain why, and then we'll go up from there.
So they're not like in any particular order, and I do have I have actually 3 mentionables that I won't go into, but I will just mention them.
Okay, do your mentionables first.
So my mentionables are going to be number 1, the Uncharted series. It's just because it's been always a fun story overall, and I enjoyed Naughty Dog's work.
Okay.
Secondly, No More is it No More Heroes? I think it's No More Heroes.
You don't even know your mentionables?
It's the Wii game that has like this one really great guy with this beam sword. It was really fun to play.
No More Heroes.
Yeah, you do this a lot?
I love that game.
Yeah, you got to do that. I
wasn't
going to do that, Steve, but yes.
This is the Wiimote gesture that you do in the game. That's all this is.
We have to find the link, and maybe we'll put it in the description when we post this for our podcast audio.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an SNL skit where Alec Baldwin is going down, and his kids are teaching him how to play the Wario game.
I remember that. Yeah, and
he's doing both of them. And then the wife comes down or whatever.
Yeah. I remember that.
Points.
That was good.
Oh, I thought I was on the ground. Yeah, Travis Touchdown. There you go, Hannah. So, No More Heroes starring Travis Touchdown.
Awesome.
So, okay, go on. Your third one.
The last mentionable, Kingdom Hearts. So it's not in my top games, but I enjoy the series. It's evolved really great, and I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay, number 5.
So I'm going to stick this in number 5. I'm sticking with Tekken. Tekken as a fighting game series. I've enjoyed that series, and it's helped me evolve into other games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, BlazBlue. But overall, I've always fallen back into Tekken. I really enjoyed it. I love their combat mechanics, and I love their characters.
I think one of the things I liked about Tekken was that there was no fireball move.
Are there no projectiles at all?
There was very, very few people who had projectiles. They're like the boss characters, but besides that, everyone else were just hand-to-hand or feet-to-feet.
Yeah, and you had to learn combos. You're right. It does teach you dexterity in your hands, in your fingers, on how to pull off combos. Hey, Steve, are you sure you needed video games to learn how to do that?
I did. Not until I had a Wii.
Okay, Jesus, next.
Let's see here. Moving away from there, the Mass Effect series.
Ooh.
Forget the last one that just happened, but the first 3. I've always just enjoyed the way that story progressed. I did not like how the third one ended, but I enjoyed just going through the waves of it and being able to tell my own story in a way.
Wait, you didn't like
don't hit me for this one. I've played them, but I've never beaten a Mass Effect.
Get the hell out of here.
I don't know. I've done 2 run-throughs of that game, and it's always, even though the second time you know what you can do differently, it just hurts sometimes because you knew something could go wrong. And the first run-through, I've almost lost so many people. I've literally had to pause the game and please don't die on me. So many times, I've had someone, please just don't die. Make it through this one, please.
Hannah says 2 is greater than 1 and 1 is greater than 3.
Yes. I would agree with that. Yeah. I really enjoyed the giant WTF at the end of the third one and going and just kind of going that's how it ended. But then going online and seeing people's ideas and theories about what it all meant. And that was more interesting than the actual ending, I think.
Having the fan theories made it a little bit more yours. You can just make it yourself. So
yeah. A lot of headcanon. Yeah.
So yeah, and there was one thing that at least 3 did do good was they added a multiplayer aspect to it, and it was really great. I wish they turned that into its own game. It was this 4-player co-op wave game with like you spawned enemies, but there was also objectives you had to do within like certain wave numbers, and it was reasonably fun. But they kind of let that game die. So
I never got to play that. If I can interrupt real quick, I need to go do something with one of my daughters. I will be back in a few minutes. Okay,
Amazon
guys?
Prime Day starts July 16th.
That's my fault.
Okay.
Phone went off.
So I'll be back in I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay.
Okay. So Steve is AFK. So.
Well, let's move on.
What's your next
So
one?
a game that a lot of people won't probably recognize is it's called Rune Factory Frontier. It was a title for the Wii that reminded me a lot of Harvest Moon, which I enjoy the series. So this was a game that I invested so much time in because of not only the way you can farm in Harvest Moon, but they added so many other features like mining, which Harvest Moon later implemented, but also the whole date mechanic, the game plus, and this whole rich story that the game told. Honestly, that's one of the few games I could say that also helped me start hunting down these rare games of Wii. Like, there was a few games that, like, honestly, there's, like, these rare games you never hear about, but it helped me find games like The Last Story, which was a wonderful game, and, what is it called? Fragile Dreams. Like, Wii games that people probably have never heard of, but thanks to me finding this one random Wii game, I was able to hunt other interesting titles along the way.
Gotcha. So speaking of that, and maybe people in the chat, it's $40, and I don't know if I can pull myself to do it. I was going to get into it. So when I started out playing video games when I was younger, I was more into the sports games and all of that. I wasn't really into RPGs and stories and all of that. So, and then I kind of progressed through. I see that Harvest Moon is on PlayStation 4 and it's $40. Is it worth it?
I'd rather say getting Stardew Valley.
I have Stardew Valley. I've had Stardew Valley for a long time.
I have too. I was hoping for the multiplayer aspect to kind of transition over. Do you have it for PC or PlayStation 4?
I have it for PC and I have it for what is it? For Switch.
Dang, I was hoping you had it for PC so we can both multiplayer that.
I have it for PC.
Okay, so we can multiplayer it. Let's get Steve, and then let's try to farm the best farm we can farm.
Farm the best farm that we can farm. I like it. Okay, so is that number 3 or is that number 2?
3.
Okay, what's your number 2?
So, number 2, it is going to be the Zero Escape series. Specifically, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It was, this was one of the first visual novel games I picked up, just because this was around the time that I was really into the gore horror movies of Saw. I kind of faded away from them after 3, but just the idea of trying to get this character safe and the multiple ending aspects kind of was amazing. And it was honestly one of the first games where there's no gameplay kind of per se, but it was puzzle solving and a very great story, and I've played all 3 of them at least twice each, so I'm missing a couple endings. I will tell you now, I have never survived them because everyone's an asshole in that game and you never can trust anyone. So I hate them all, but one day I will successfully complete them and I will get the good ending and I will be a proud survivor. Until then, I've died multiple times and apparently I trust too many people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so start from 5 again. Okay, just give the title.
So Tekken.
Second. Next one.
Rune Factory.
Okay. 3.
9 hours. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
Okay. 2.
Mass Effect.
Okay. And now your number 1. What is your number 1 favorite game of all time?
number one. I'll answer that in a second, Rabbit. My number one game is going to be the Pokemon series. To this day, I've played every single one. I've probably owned every single game possible known to man. I still play Pokemon Go more actively these days. As I stated earlier, I actually went to the community events. And overall, I just love just the idea of creating a team that you pick out yourself and just the journey of making the best you can do. I just like the overall RPG genre, to say.
Gotta catch 'em all! Right?
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, those are overall my top 5 games that if I had to, those are the ones I would keep around to play.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Rabbit. Yeah, there are so many mods for that game. Yeah, and you're talking about Pokemon. What is it? That's I don't even know how to say that number. However long that number is, and go to distance. Absolutely, go to distance. So I don't know where Steve went to, but
we can ask if there's any. Do you want to ask the crowd if there's any questions they would like to ask us?
Well, actually, we can do that. I know that Rabbit is in our Discord, and I know that he posted his 5 top games. Didn't you, Rabbit? I think he did. Yes, he did. So let's. We'll go through a couple of these. So if you want to join our Discord, so White Rabbit says that his top 5 games are The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, Elder Scrolls 3: Morrowind, Mass Effect 3, which is kind of interesting because I thought Mass Effect 2 was the more popular one.
It speculates, depends on the person.
Okay. And then Monster Hunter World, and then World of Warcraft, which he's actually a friend of mine, and him and another guy have been trying to get me to get in, or trying to get me to go back to World of Warcraft, even though I really. You can't say that I'm a huge player because I am even close to say that I was an average player, but I actually have a computer that can run it now, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to take that time bandit, you know.
Just go back, join the darkness, do it.
Yeah. See, he put it in here. He goes back, fucker. You got to start it, and he's right. I got to start it. From there, and then I know Hannah's been in here, so we'll do his. So Hannah posted in our Discord his top 5. So first one is Diablo 3. I don't know if these are in any order. So Diablo 3, Mega Man 2. Now I forgot. I never know how to say this. Is this Lumies?
I think it's Lumia.
Yeah. Portal. And then Metal Gear Solid 2. So that's what Hannah's top 5 are. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not. So Steve came back.
Hi, I'm back.
So we got through Jesus' top 5, and we were reading. So we got Rabbit and Hannah there in the chat. So in our Discord, they posted their top 5 games. So where I was reading off their top 5 games.
Oh, nice.
So Jesus, why don't you go through just really fast one more time? Name your top 5.
And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Luminez.
Why don't you name your top 5 really fast so Steve can kind of comment on what he thinks.
Okay.
So,
Tekken. See here. Rune Factory. See here. Mass Effect. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And Pokemon in general.
All right, cool. I know some of those.
So comments.
Like I said, the one I think you don't know is Rune Factory. That's one of the more obscure games. Like I told Dan, it's one of those games that was briefly released on the Wii, and it helped me find other rare games, you would say, that were released on there.
Okay, all right, neat. And the 9999 one, was that like a DS game or something?
It was originally DS. It got re-released for the PC and for the PlayStation.
All right.
Wasn't it on Vita too, or something like that?
Yeah. I actually own a copy for every device, so I have like four copies of these games.
Nice.
I really enjoy, and I have the watches for all of them because each game. Okay, so the game's premise, really quick, is that it's a death game, and the sick monster put watches on them, and sometimes there'll be a counter or something, but there was a bomb.
The sick monster was a panda.
But yeah, they were just basically bombs, and every special edition came with a watch along with it, and I was lucky enough for the last two. It cost me a reasonable fortune for the first one.
Reasonable fortune, like it. Cool, man. That's awesome.
Yep. So, any final thoughts before we get into closing?
Oh man, final thoughts. So I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Recently, nothing really crazy happened. No kidnapping or anything like that. I lost.
Kidnapping.
No kidnapping stories.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on you, man.
So I had some treasure. I went to an island. There was another guy there. I was gonna signal to him like, "Hey, I'm just gonna search for treasure." He killed me, stole my treasure. That's the game. That's fine. I ended up getting an achievement because he stole some of my treasure and he sold it. And it was like, blink, 25 gamer point. What's it called? The point system they have, achievement points. There it is.
Yeah.
I got 25 achievement points for that. Like, all right, thanks. Little bit of State of Decay 2. Play a little bit of that. It's good. Still good. Still fun. And then I recently re-downloaded, Fable. And I'm going to replay some Fable, I think, cause
nice.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've played some Fable. I was a big Fable fan. So there's through the Microsoft like Game Pass thing, which I got cause it was only $1 after the E3. And I was searching through, I was like, oh, Fable. And I clicked on it and it's like enhanced for Xbox One X. And I was like, what? So I downloaded it, booted it up. And like the splash screen is all pixelated and I was like, what's going on? And then when the game loads, like they redid the graphics and they're all like super intense HD, whatever. And I was like, whoa, this actually looks kind of nice. Like it doesn't look as dated as I thought. That's an original Xbox game. That's how I played it. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to go through that game again and just kind of see if it's still fun. But that's all that's been going on game wise with me. Pokemon Quest. Thank you, Tyrant, for that. You're streaming that the other day and I was like, what is this? And you're like, it's free. And I was like, I got it. So, that's a perfect new dad game because you get on there and you go, here's Pokemon, go do a thing. And then you just watch them. And then as they're running around killing things, you put it down because the kid's crying and you deal with the kid and you get the bottle and then she peed like on the diaper and then you put another, and then there's poop and you gotta change and you come back. Oh, look, the Pokemon won a thing. Go fight again. Okay, cool. And then you go and you do the stuff. Perfect new dad game. Perfect. So Pokemon Quest. It's fun. Easy.
There you go, man.
Easy peasy.
Okay. Awesome. What about you, Jesus? Closing statement.
I'm looking forward to these rumored technologies. Let's hope they're real because I enjoy that when companies compete for stuff. And look forward to me streaming some of these random games I bought on the PlayStation Store for like super dark cheap.
Do it. Those are the best worst games.
Nice.
Hey, exactly. There's this really cheap one that it's like this old arcade game. Like I played it for like 2 hours and like, dang it, why didn't I stream this? Because I thought it was just some junky game, but I got really into it.
Always be streaming. Always be streaming.
Let's see. Nice.
What about you, Dan?
Well, a couple of just little things. One, we are working on some possible guests for a couple of other shows, which we will let you know if they do that. We've been reaching out to a couple of developers too. So we hopefully are going to be hearing back from them soon, talk about some stuff. Next week, though, special time, special day for our weekly podcast. It will not be happening Thursday like normal. It will be happening Tuesday at 8:30 Central Time. Because I am, like I alluded to earlier in the podcast or earlier in the show today, I will be in New York on next Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah, as a gift to my father. He turned 60 last year. So my brothers and I, he's a huge baseball fan, so we are going to go check out New York. We are going to go see my uncle that lives up there. And then we're going to go catch a Yankees-Mets game. And then from there, we're going to head to Cooperstown and go check out the Hall of Fame. And then from there, we're going down to Philly, and we're going to catch a Phillies home game too. So 2 baseball games and the Hall of Fame in a matter of 5 days.
Wow.
So the biggest thing is that we're driving. So 12 hours of driving. Yeah, 12 to 14 hours of driving.
So it's just going to be you and your brothers and your dad?
Yep. I have 2 younger brothers, so.
Wow. There's going to be so many farts in that car?
There's some what?
So many farts. Because you got the road trip snacks. Oof.
Yeah. And no, guarantee he's bringing his PS4. No, I am not. I'm actually bringing my Switch because actually where we're staying is about 3 blocks away from the Nintendo of America store. So that's where I'm going to be hitting up when we do a little bit of sightseeing. So, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it.
So instead of bringing your PS4, you're switching it up?
Yeah, switching it up.
Boo.
But no, so that's what we're going to be doing. We actually are. I think we're kind of smart on how we did this, though. Instead of driving during the day and wasting a day, we're actually going to be leaving at night, and we're going to be doing most of the driving we're starting about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Chicago time, and driving through the night. I mean, four guys, driving 14 hours. So you're looking a 4 or 5 hour stretch each. It's just not that big, type sort of thing, or however we did that 3 hours each or something like that. So, we're hoping it'll be a good time. So that's where I'll be next Thursday. So we are actually going to have our podcast and our weekly show on Twitch on Tuesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. So
mark your calendars.
I'm sorry?
Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. Maybe we will check out, or maybe we'll stream a little bit of Monster Hunter. I think I want to play that this weekend.
Do it.
So maybe you'll catch us or catch me on the PlayStation with that. So let me know if you want to join in on some hunts. Find us once again on all of our social media, Twitter, The Save Point. You can find us on Facebook, The Save Point Podcast. Jesus, his Twitter at Tyrant_Dominus. Me, Fuzzy Bacon 27, and Steve 0, but a 0 at the end, not an O. Check out our Discord. You will see the link to our Discord on every social media site that we have, which is you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spreaker, and finally, Spotify.
Boom.
We are on Spotify. We've been published on Spotify. Got the actual thing. So
it's amazing.
So the audio for this, as we always say, the audio for this will be up on those sites in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And with that, everybody have a good night. Enjoy the Monster Hunter Summer Festival or any other games that you're playing. And we'll see you in a couple of days. Sound good?
All right. Bye.
See you online.